Hey YouTube, in this video I'm going to be doing a deck profile on my Narukami deck. So this is my Dragonic Vanquisher / Eradicator deck. So what I'm going to be doing in the next couple of videos are just going to be going over decks that I haven't really shown on this channel, or clans that haven't been featured in a long time. Narukami is one of them. I think I did Brawlers, the budget Brawlers, back when Brawlers were a thing, but I never got the Turbo Knuckle Duo, whatever they're called. So I was really using the trial, basically it's not the trial deck. Well, it was a trial deck, but it was never released in English. But I was using that Brawler deck, and then I changed it back to Eradicators once Stride came out. So this is really a budget Stride deck. It's really easy to build. It depends on Dragonic Vanquisher and the Grade 2 GB1. But we'll go over it. I don't really know how much any of the cards cost currently at the timing of this video, but you'll be able to tell that it's pretty budget. So first Grade 3 is probably the main Grade 3 that you want to try to close out the game with. So this is Dragonic Vanquisher. He's a pretty interesting unit. I did like what they did with Narukami, making them have the ability to basically remove things from play or banish cards or bind cards out of the drop zone. Basically making it more kind of like anti-Legion, sort of like Gear Chronicle, and anti-Grand Blue in that sense. So, not really anti-Grand Blue, because Grand Blue still can mill faster than they can remove things, but Dragonic Vanquisher is still a pretty good card. A very fun deck to play as. And then the next Grade 3 is my favorite Eradicator of all time, Eradicator Sweep Command Dragon. This is the Eradicator that I always was playing back when Eradicators were new. I remember the English release. This guy came out in set 11, which actually came out before set 10 in English. So he came out with like Dauntless Drive Dragon and Seal Dragons. So Sweep Command, he's my favorite one. I just like the color scheme, and interestingly enough, it matches with Vanquisher. So 4 of him, because there's an interesting combo that plays very similar to Next Stage in Gear Chronicle. So this is the Grade 3 lineup. It's 4 of Sweep Command and 4 Dragonic Vanquisher. If you want to run Descendant, you can, but he's not needed because of the way the deck runs. So I definitely recommend this lineup. For Grade 2, 4 Voltage Horn Dragon. Again, this is supposed to be a budget deck. I'm not sure how expensive this guy is. I just got him back when he was new, and no one really cared about him back then. So very similar to the one that came out for Kagero. So 4 Voltage Horn, he's interesting because he binds stuff face up when something gets retired. So that's kind of like the new style that they're going with. And then 3 Supreme Army Eradicator Zoiton. He's in here to unflip damage. And also he will soul charge for Sweep Command. So you can do Sweep Command's effect, his limit break multiple times. Because it is a Soul Blast too, it's pretty expensive. So Zoiton sort of helps kind of mitigate that while unflipping damage. And then next we have 3 Eradicator Lorenz Force Dragon. Lorenz Force is in here because this deck does tend to re-ride a couple of times. So, like, for example, if you stride Dragonic Vanquisher, you may end up if you stride over him, you may end up with Sweep Command, depending on how the match goes. Or you might just have this guy on the field when you first ride Sweep Command. So he's in here just for more retiring ability for CB1. With Zoiton, these two kind of work well together because he's only CB1 to retire something, and he unflips one. So, and then I have 1 tech card in here, 1 Iron Fan Neridi, mainly because the opponent doesn't like seeing this card on the field, especially when it pokes at a 9k Grade 2 across from it, or like in one of the other columns. So they really will kind of focus fire this down. But one of it, you don't have to run this. You can run the 12k. I don't recommend the 12k for Eradicators in here, mainly because of Vanquisher. So I don't want to be in a situation where 12k is just nothing. So that's why I use this if you have any extra counterblast. So that's the Grade 2 lineup. For Grade 1s, I am running the new Unflip Perfect Guard. because the deck is relatively fast with the way they stride, with the starter and everything, and the deck does tend to be very counterblast heavy. His on stride is counterblast 1, his limit break is counterblast 2, this is counterblast 2, this is counterblast 1, so lots of unflip is needed. So for Anastasia for that reason. And then next we have 4 Mighty Bolt Dragoon. He's your searcher for Vanquisher if you don't want to start out with Sweep Command. And also he's also stride fodder, so pretty self-explanatory in a stride focused deck. And then the opposite of him, we have 4 Eradicator Egghelm Draco Kid. He's the limit break enabler for Narukami. Just so happens to be Eradicator, so he's really good with Sweep Command to ensure you're able to use limit break. And then the last grade 1, again, similar to what I did with the grade 2, I do have 1 tech card. I have Castor, so both of these do kind of cycle cards. This one draws 1 for CB2, this one just drop and draw. So similar effects for my tech choices here. For the trigger lineup, it's very standard for Eradicator. So 4 Eradicator draw, 8 Eradicator critical. I'm not playing any of the new triggers because you do need Eradicators for Sweep Command. So you do want to run as many Eradicators as you can, and because I am running Vanquisher and this guy at the max copies, as well as this guy and Anastasia, I do need the triggers to be Eradicators, and then obviously the 4 heals. And then 2 of the starters. So I have one Eradicator First Thunder Draco Kid as the regular starter, and then I have 1 extra copy in the deck. Mainly because I want to be able to get the 5 drive check play. If you don't know what I'm talking about, if you're familiar with Next Stage, Next Stage is actually very similar to this guy. I don't even know if like they developed Next Stage's effect based off of what they found people doing with this. But basically, let's just get into the Stride deck first, and then we can explain how it works. For Stride, it's very simple. It's just 4 Lightning, Dragon Knight, Zorus. This is really all you need. You don't need the triple R one. Like I said, it's a budget deck. And then it's just 1 Blizza, 1 Atmos, and then 2 whatever. You can run 2 of the triple R if you have it. I don't actually have it. I never Stride it. So, but it's pretty decent. So if you have the ability to have 2 of those, I recommend that. But otherwise, Zorus is really your go-to Stride almost all game. That's why I max the copies. So how it works is when you Stride, if this hits, or actually no, yeah, when it strides, if it hits and the opponent retires something because they have to, and then you bind 2 things from the drop zone. If you have Draco Kid, Thunder Draco Kid on the field, you can put him in the soul, use his effect to look at 10 cards, which is a lot of cards, off the top of your deck, and then search for a Sweep Command, and if you find one, you can ride it. So basically, it allows you 2 extra drive checks, meaning you will Stride, you'll swing with the Stride, or whatever. If they let it hit, then this goes into the soul, search top 10, and then if you get one of these, you ride this. So then you get like an extra 2 drive checks. Obviously his skill will also go off as well. So if you have something to retire from the field, you can do that. So pretty good, I would say, for a budget deck. Having to play like that, sort of like a semi-restand kind of interesting play. Kind of like playing Next Stage style, only really much cheaper. So that was my Narukami deck. It's a budget deck because Narukami is not one of my main clans that I really support. But, I mean, Vanquisher was really easy for me to come by. So, hope you guys enjoyed that deck profile. Let me know what you think of Eradicators in Stride format. Or just Narukami in general in Stride format. And hope you guys enjoyed the video. And as always, I'll see you guys next time. Thanks.